destroyed lives. That's how a judge described the defendant's sentence today in a high-profile pill mill case.
Lillian Akwuba was a nurse practitioner at Family Practice. She's one of more than a dozen defendants indicted for prescribing drugs to patients who did not need them.
Akwuba was the only defendant who went to trial, and a jury convicted her on 23 counts, including drug distribution and healthcare fraud. WSFA 12 News reporter Jennifer Horton has the details of her sentencing today.
Lillian Akwuba tearfully pleaded for mercy as she faced decades of potential prison time. Character witnesses highlighted Akwuba's spiritual life and philanthropic work, but the judge painted a stark contrast, stating Akwuba wrecked lives of patients by hooking them on high doses of unnecessary narcotics to turn a profit. Judge Sharon Blackburn said, quote, "It's hard for me to reconcile your faith considering all you've done." The government argued that Akwuba showed disrespect to her patients, the court by lying under oath, and to the doctors who attempted to work with her and correct her prescribing habits, stating Akwuba stands alone in failing to acknowledge she was a drug dealer. Following lengthy discussion, Blackburn sentenced Akwuba to 10 years in prison. Her attorney argued the sentence was unreasonable considering the majority of defendants received probation in this case, which the judge rejected. Akwuba's sentence marks the end of a nearly 2-year-long prosecution that ultimately resulted in charges for more than a half dozen Montgomery doctors. The maximum sentence in this case was life. For reference, Dr. Gilberto Sanchez, who pleaded guilty in this case, was sentenced to 12 years on 5 counts. Jennifer Horton, WSFA 12 News.
Akwuba was detained after sentencing. She has 14 days to file for an appeal.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Super Tube. Okay, I probably do another vid for this Saturday morning for y'all, man. I probably do old Montgomery news about this nurse practitioner, and that was Lady Akwuba. Okay, Lady Akwuba was a genuine nurse practitioner until that she was sentenced to 10 years for drug distribution. I think healthcare fraud or something. I actually got charged with type of crime. So since a federal judge on Wednesday sentenced a former Montgomery nurse practitioner to 10 years in prison back around 2019. So it's just that, they called her a drug dealer, which prescribed a outrageous quantities of narcotics to the vulnerable patient. So it says that Lillian Akwuba was found guilty back around October 23rd of federal charges of unlawfully distributing controlled substance, including fentanyl, oxycodone, and methamphetamine. Methadone to patients between 2013 and 2017, in addition to healthcare fraud for billing, assurance for unnecessary after medical visits, and the judge described her as a drug dealer to where that I think she transferred lives and how she said the judge Sharon Blackburn at Akwuba's Wednesday hearing sentence. There were addicts out there her lives has been probably being affected because you wanted to make money. So Akwuba is one of the more than a dozen doctors, nurses, and medical practitioner staff charged in a wide-ranging investigation into Dr. Gilberto Sanchez family practice office based off of Island Highway area in Montgomery. Sanchez was arrested and charged back around August of 2017. So Akwuba was arrested back around December 2017 for work and Sanchez assistance. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jonathan Rawls called Sanchez for the big fish and illegal doctor prescribed drug distribution in the area, while Akwuba chose to take her case to trial. So after Sanchez and the others pled guilty to a bunch of charges, and so it's a court document says that filed by the prosecution alleged the case against the nurse practitioner began back around 2013 when the Alabama Board of Medical Examiners changed prescription guidelines to allow certified registered nurse practitioners CMP to distribute controlled substance. 9 petitioners could enter to a collaborative agreement with physicians and trying to prescribe drugs such as narcotics and known as I think after amphetamines, known as the collaborating physician periodically sign off. I said on the on the drugs, and the prosecution alleged that Akwuba approached Sanchez with a deal to move for practice near his and get a rural patients into the office for a percentage of the profits that she had get or generated. And so Sanchez fired Akwuba back around 2016, which led to her opening her own prenatal care practice in Montgomery called the Mercer Family Health Care. Akwuba recruited other doctors to help her distribute illegal drug prescriptions there. Back around in September, Prattville physician John McLaren was indicted and allegedly, I think, in conspiracy with Akwuba. It says that McLaren periodically signed off as the prescription according to the court documents, but warned Akwuba about the amounts of drugs that she was like prescribing and canceled his collaborative agreement with the ABME after just a few months. So Akwuba found a third doctor back around January 17 at Montgomery gastroenterologist to enter a collaborative practice agreement with her. So she I think fraudulently used type of health insurance claims under the I guess the victim's name as a fourth doctor. So so it's just that so it said that Blackbird had said that medical records and evidence show that outrageous quantities of prescribed drugs. Winston said multiple people trying to recognize Akwuba dangerous prescribed practicing and so trying to intervene. So it's a lady Akwuba lied on her stand about her understanding about the drugs and stuff, and how she had said she I think she kind of had so the went to where I think she apologized to her family, her kids about what she did, and then how she said she was sorry about what she had did, until she was a known pastor. So I think Lillian Cooper was the a former pastor, petitioner that was accused of giving bad drugs to patients. How patients felt like they should give fake drugs to them, but I feel like she was a woman who just got herself caught up with the with the money. But I feel like that she was charged with giving people fake counterfeit drugs and stuff, and how those drugs can get you locked up, man. But I feel like she got charged with giving them bad drugs to to get. But I feel like she gave them her patients like fentanyl, like things they can provide drugs and them, but I feel like why would a woman be a pastor, in a former nurse petitioner, get some involved in type of scheme they can get her locked up, but I feel like she had failed her family man because she wanted to get because I think she wanted to leave top about I think P Mill scheme case to where the P Mill is about a couple of doctors basically I think trying to give people fake bad I said look at drugs to them, but like she was a woman who got caught in the end and how she got 17 years for the for charging but I feel like Montgomery has a lot to where folks who do a lot of stuff like this and get a lot of time behind ball for giving them fake drugs and how she in jail for the type of crime. But so y'all like